The last time you saw my Billy, he was starting to rack up some damage, but he's not fully there yet. He'll need just a bit more things before he can get strong enough to take on all the endgame modes that I want him to do. Between last time and now though, Ju Yuan dropped and I took a second to build her, but don't worry, Billy is still my number one. Sorry, Ju Yuan. I've actually taken the time to farm the hell out of Billy's mats, so it's time to see just how strong he'll get. See guys, he wasn't abandoned. Calm down. Yes, we will be raising everything up to the max level, and it will hurt because that's a lot of materials I have to use. Yep, just casually making 29 specialized physical chips. Yep, that easy. Unfortunately, I cannot raise my units past level 50, so I need to raise my Internaut level, but Billy is looking pretty strong now. The ability to just casually drop all these materials into maxing his skills feels awesome. I also grinded his core skill enhancement so I can raise these up to pretty much almost max, so I'm just gonna dump everything into the max. Wait, 55s are oh no, I thought I could just send it all the way. Alright, so I have a wall in front of me. I need to raise my Billy's level to 55, but to do that, I really cannot avoid raising my Internaut level, so we have to grind out some levels to get myself up, and we'll just pretty much raise everything that we have here, so the W engine will go up to max as well. We take a quick visit to Elfie to make one of my drives a guaranteed physical damage boost, so that way I don't have to actually hunt for it as much. And the substats are Anomaly Proficiency 9, Attack 19, but crit damage 4.5%. Okay, it's not the best thing ever, but you know what? We'll use it for now. Leveling up the drive, let's see if we can get some levels onto the crit damage. I'm actually kind of scared right now. Crit damage is now 9.6%. We'll take that, you know, it's not the worst thing ever, and you know what? It just adds up a little bit of damage to Billy. And after leveling up all of Billy's drives, his stats are now as displayed here. It feels really weird to take the A rank character and make them my best character now, but you know what? I'm pretty happy with this journey so far, and I'm having a lot of fun. There's something about having to use these characters and not have to rely on the S rank ones all the time that makes it feel more rewarding for me. I've avoided doing commissions for such a long time because the leveling is pretty slow, but there's no way around it. From level 46, we need to get to level 50. Now, my biggest hope here was to do more of the combat-related missions because that way I can use my Billy finally, but I just had to go and pick the one that was basically a ripoff of Pokemon, but it's okay. I really do like how they get really creative with the TV system. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I appreciate the creativity behind the ideas they put in there. Okay, and that was a really long mission, but it's done. Okay, let's continue. We finally get some combat in, and oh my gosh, Billy is looking so strong. All these numbers looking big and strong. I really can't take a second to see how much he's dealing, but I can see several tens of thousands in there, and sometimes he crits to maybe around 20k plus now? There is absolutely nothing I feel like Billy cannot take on. I hope I said that correctly. It sounds like I said it wrong. But basically what I'm trying to say is Billy is feeling really strong. I can't be stopped at this point. Progress is being made. Another S rank in the bag. It's all feeling too good right now. Now, it may seem like Billy can take on pretty much anything that is below his level recommended, but there is one level that will stump me so bad to the point where I thought I might have given up this Billy run for good. There's this level 46 mission that I didn't clear previously with only 2 stars, so I decided to give it another try with Billy this time. I might have tackled this mission in the past before I started doing my Billy series, so I thought maybe this time, because Billy is so overpowered, I can mow through this level easily and have no issues. And when I reached the first boss of this area, and yes, you heard correctly, the first boss, I realized I am being timed, and being little old me, I didn't realize that I have to complete this mission within a time limit, and I didn't really know the time limit off the top of my head because I just kind of dived into the mission. I didn't really think about it ahead of time, but I kept going and, you know, decided I'll just keep going and see what's gonna happen. I'm at 1 minute and 20 seconds right now at this moment, so let's see how far I can get, and hopefully I get a 3-star clear. Towards the end of the mission, you don't have one boss to fight, but you actually have 2? At the same time, and that's not so bad. You know, I can take these guys both on, but the problem came right after. As I land that killing blow with Billy, I go to the results screen and I get a 2-star clear. For a 3-star clear, I need to complete the level within 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I cleared it in 2 minutes and 51 seconds. For that 3-star clear, or circles, I don't really know what to call them, I need to shave off at least 20 more seconds. So I jump right back in there, give it my best shot, but every single attempt ended in failure. It was extremely frustrating to reach the final part of this fight and having to fight two tanky bosses who just won't die quickly enough. To get this far and not clear a mission that is like 4 levels below Billy, it felt really sad. If I cannot beat this mission, how could I tackle on the Shiyu defense? So maybe you have to fork over your wallet and you cannot clear these missions without the best characters in the game. So, because I can't clear this mission with Billy, that is the end of the Billy series. That is what I would say if I was a quitter. Taking a look at the level, we see that the enemies are apparently weak to ice. Dealing ice damage will break the enemy's shield faster. So that little blue part of their HP bar is their shield, and if we can break that with ice, we can cut through with the rest of that with Billy's damage. And I have just the person to use that isn't an S-rank character like Ellen. Meet my secret weapon, Saku. So, why Saku? Well, she's an ice unit, so therefore, that's already a big plus. Second, she's support, so therefore, she's able to actually help Billy with his damage, and I'll explain that in a second. And lastly, she's really the only other ice unit in the game at the moment, so please, this has to work. I'm not looking to turn Saku into a DPS monster because that's not in her nature to do so, so I'm gonna pad her with a bit of damage but also still be a support unit entirely to help out Billy. And did it hurt that I have to spare resources to build Saku? Yes. But honestly, it's okay, because the later endgame stages require you to have at least 2 teams to tackle on, so having Saku and my Nicole built up to be supports on either side of the team will be useful. Just don't mind me here just trying to gather resources in the meantime so I can build up Saku, because I didn't account for her at all to be on my team. With materials finally gathered, let's go ahead and talk about why Saku is going to be a great pick coming forward. Holding the special attack button will allow her to use Fly the Flag. Upon first examinations, you may notice it does an AoE ice attack around you, and it also draws in enemies closer towards you, but it also increases Saku's attack by a certain percentage depending on the level for a certain amount of time, and when you activate a quick assist or chain attack right after using Saku's ability, it will be passed on to your next unit. So, effectively, Billy can have this buff as well. The buff is indicated by that little circle below her HP. I do want to point out that my Saku's Mindscape is maxed out, so she is going to be a bit stronger than most. This came from trying to pull Ellen back before, so kind of, you know, a blessing in disguise. I got a maxed out Saku, which came in handy. Bad that I actually spent a lot of pulls on Ellen's banner, though. So, after my little detour of working on Saku, she's at 50, and let's see if we can finally beat this level that was meant to be at level 46, but we'll see what happens now. After attempting this, I got to around maybe 30 seconds left on the clock, and I had to fight both bosses at full HP. I didn't think I was gonna beat this right now. So, with only 4 seconds left on the clock and both bosses still very much alive, that was my first attempt down the drain. So, I decided to go back and see if I can rearrange some drives or maybe change some things up, maybe level up a skill that I didn't level up maybe, and we go in for number 2. And surprisingly enough, no luck. It is a pretty rough run so far. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, I don't know if I'm building people incorrectly, I just don't know what's going on so far. Attempt number 2 ends in a quit once again. Attempt number 3, no luck. And then some runs I ended way sooner than expected because I didn't feel like I could clear in the time that I had left. But on the, I believe, 6th attempt, things changed. I killed that first group of enemies in a quick enough manner where I decided, okay, gonna keep pressing on. And on the first boss, I went to stun him ASAP. Once he was down, I used Saku to shred his shield as much as possible. And once I swapped the Billy, it was over. I just shredded through this boss so quickly with all my abilities. Maybe call it a lucky crit or whatever you want it, but that boss was dead. The second he was stunned, it took like 4 seconds to finish him off. I had more than a minute left on the clock, and that made me feel extremely comfortable. When I reached the last boss section, I had less than a minute now, and I had to pretty much act fast. I was going crazy, I was stunning as fast as I can, swapping to Saku to try to shred the shields, Billy for damage. I was playing my heart out. I don't know why, this was the most sweatiest moment I've ever had in ZZZ history. This could have been the run. If I clear this, that makes me feel even more comfortable to take on Shiyu defense, because if I couldn't clear this, how can I even clear Shiyu defense at all? The last 15 seconds were perhaps the nuttiest one, because at 15 seconds left, they were still alive. I was sitting here, well, how can I beat these bosses? I threw out one of the strongest ultimates I've ever seen in my life. I landed a crit that did over 120,000. And finally, after a lot of attempts on this mission, I cleared it with a 3-star S rank I'm done. Of course, that didn't really add to my Internaut level, but I got some 10 polychromes off it, and I'm pretty happy with that. This shows me if you build Billy the right way, he can be an absolute monster. You don't need S ranks. You could clear most content with A ranks. And yeah, okay, granted, I am above the level recommended, like 4 or 5 levels above it, but hey, you know what? I got it done. Shortly after, on my commission grind, I did find another mission with the same kind of conditions that I easily destroyed. I got an S rank with not even breaking a sweat. Clearing this mission, almost having 2 minutes to spare. To make a Billy stronger, you need a strong team. And Saku came in strong today. If you have not built her, I recommend you build her now. We are getting very close to tackling on the rest of the modes like Shiyu Defense, Hollow Zero, but before we get there, there's one more thing I have to do to make Billy strong, and that will come in the next episode. So, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you there in the next one.